Okay, so someone aptly pointed out that in my last video, I opened a can of worms that I wasn't ready to open yet. And they were right. I hadn't made a good enough argument. And I may have offended some people, but I'm sorry for that if I have. This video is going to be part of a multi-part series. And whether you're whatever religion you are, I invite you to take an open stance when you come and look at these videos. So, this video is titled In Defense of Atheism. And what I'm going to be doing for these series is, as you know, I'm a Christian, but I'm a very open-minded individual, and there's nothing better than arguing for the position you're opposed to. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be arguing in defense of atheism. And then after I do that, I am going to be arguing in defense of theism, creationists in general. Not a particular religion, just theism in general. So, to make this short and sweet, the main argument for atheism is that it is the default position. So therefore, there is a presumption of atheism among people, which I can see that. I can understand if the atheist thinks that atheism is the default position. And what that does, that default position, what that does is places the burden of proof on theism, or the theist. It places that burden of proof for them to provide literally proof of an existence. And if the theist is unable to do so, then the atheist is justified in his position of atheism. Alright? Hold on, I don't know what these guys are doing. So, we have the burden of proof laid onto the theist. And there's two sides to atheism. There's two ways, or two types of atheists. There's the strong atheist, and there's the weak atheist argument. What the weak atheist, it's not a statement of integrity. It's not. It's just about the stance. So bear with me on this. The weak atheist doesn't make any assertions. They do not claim that there is a God, and they do not claim that there is not a God. They withhold assertion until that burden of proof placed on the theist has been realized, or that burden of proof has come to light. So that's what the weak atheist stance is. And the second stance is the strong atheist. This stance of the strong atheist is much the same as the theist, the believer argument. The strong atheist statement is that there is no God. The foil of the theist statement, that there is a God. And that strong atheist statement is probably the most wide-held statement of belief of atheism. And basically, why that is because It is a direct observation of our observable world. They can't see there's a God. There's no proof that there's a God. Therefore, there isn't a God. And that observation is based on experience in this world. The experience that I've never seen, I've never heard, therefore there is no. So that's what the strong atheist standpoint is. So those two stances are what basically atheism is. Atheism is placing the burden of proof on the theist to provide specific examples and just basically just to provide that proof, whereas the atheist doesn't have to, because their belief that there isn't a God, or the belief that if on the weak atheism stand is provide me with that burden of proof, and then I will make my decisions. If the theist is unable to provide them with proof, then the atheist is justified. So that is basically what atheism is. This is just part one, but there will be many parts to this. The next part, in Defense of Atheism, will be the problem of evil. And that will be described later on in those videos. So I hope that I justified some of the videos of my previous one, some of the content of my previous video. So go ahead and comment this video. Go ahead and subscribe to make sure that you are updated when the next part of In Defense of Atheism comes out, part 2. And just be open. I'm asking everyone to be open, because I certainly am. So I thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.